On the 20th of December 2017, Joe Doocey received a 3.5-year prison sentence. He was convicted on 11 out of 12 charges. His release date is March the 20th, 2020. On June the 5th, 2015, Sergeant Declan Casey approached Joe Doocey for what he says was holding a mobile phone while driving. He got Joe's details and Joe continued on his journey. Casey can be seen on video parking up his bike and Joe slowly driving by. You can clearly see from the video Declan Casey made no attempt to get back on the bike and go in pursuit of Joe. This charge was later dismissed in court. On the following Monday, 8th of June, Joe and Colin found what turned out to be a Garda baton 10089 outside Joe's bedroom window, belonging to Pádraig Cleary from the National Bureau of Criminal Investigation. Joe was in Balna Court all morning on the 8th of June 2015 for a return of property application. As usual, the place was full of guards, plus the NBCI and the Armed Response Unit. It took 11 months for Pádraig Cleary to admit to owning the baton.
Ask the question and ask it one more time and what an answer
That's the answer to the
ask the question and we'll hear the answer.
Was Garda baton 10089 issued to you or do you own it?
I don't know. It's the property commissioner of the Garda property.
Was it in your
As
possession?
I say, I was on the Seducing property twice, on the 17th of January when we conducted the search, and on the date that I arrested the Seducing, on the 26th of
Your baton was it left at Mr. Doocey's property?
It was good, on the day that he was arrested on the 26th of May.
That's a lie. That's a lie.
And Judge, you might, Mr. Doocey, as he knows that's the property of the Garda he might hand it over from Garda.
You robbed the property obviously on the night of the 7th of June, snooping around without warrant on private property.
No.
The baton was found on the morning of the 8th of June. You were there on the 7th without warrant, without reason. What were you going to do? Set me up with something else?
Judge, Mr. Doocey's come to the allegations.
I make serious allegations of which you're guilty, and I know you're guilty, and all the false charges you're pressing.
The question that you've asked and answered, the detective's baton was apparently left on the property or was found on the property at that time.
Was belonging to Detective
Correct.
Cleary.
It's assigned to that detective.
It later transpired, while Joe and his family were in court that day, the outside of the Doocey property was being searched, presumably for the baton. The question arises as to what the NBCI from Dublin were doing on private property in Mayo in the middle of the night prior to the court application that Joe had lodged. A couple of months prior to this, J.J. Kane from the NBCI got Tusla involved to create false allegations of illegal porn on Joe's computer. Remember the allegations against Maurice McCabe? Revenue also brought charges. They were dismissed and Joe was awarded €650 in costs. All charges brought against Joe were to discredit him. A letter was sent to Norman O'Sullivan on the 2nd of January 2015, stating that Joe was in fear that something sinister was about to happen. After Gardaí called to the house wanting to speak to him over an alleged email threatening to kill Norman O'Sullivan. Joe's house was raided on the 17th of January 2015. Joe was never charged with any of this. It was another ploy to set him up. Again, Joe was awarded €200 in costs. Evening of the 8th of June 2015, while Joe was dropping a friend home, they both noticed they were being pursued by marked and unmarked Garda cars at various stages around Ballina. Evidence produced in court proved this. The guards were in constant communication with each other. There was an ambush at the Broken Jug. This is the spot where Sergeant Casey and Garda Kearns attacked Joe and made a threat on his life. Casey and Kearns attacked Joe with batons, broke the wind visor on Joe's car. When this happens, you have two choices: fight or flight. Joe fled in fear for his life. The reason or excuses given for the stop was that they needed to see Joe's license and DOE regarding the stop on the previous Friday. Joe was driving the car on that stage. The guards were in constant communication with each other on their own private mobile phones. They had a place picked out for their attack out of view of CCTV cameras. They were the cause of the chaos that followed. They were adamant in getting Joe fair or foul. Applications for Garda phone records and CCTV from Ballina Garda station were not disclosed. Kieran's statement claims that Joe drove over his right foot. He also claimed Joe hit Casey 4 times in the shin, the right knee, right ankle and right leg, and that he was knocked to the ground. No marks on Casey's elbows or hands, which would be the first place of impact when falling to the ground. Kieran claims he struck the window and door a number of times, but that the window didn't break. The anger and rage in Kieran's can be seen clearly, as you can see Kieran's firing his baton as Joe is fleeing. Alan Dean states that he's seen everything, even the window being broken at the font, which Kieran states never happened. But one thing Alan Dean never seen was a guard being hit by Joe Doocey or being knocked to the ground. The investigating officer, Detective Jerry Lee, approached the bail bond person to appear in the CCJ in Dublin to withdraw Joe's bail so that they would be able to remand him.
Happened. You're right.
I said, man, look, there's nothing to worry about.
All right.
Come here, it's just a 2-minute conversation. I need to talk to you in person. Joe Doocey,
Yes.
you're still bail person for him. Do you remember that day the bail
Yes,
was transferred
yes,
in?
yes.
You remember there was a thing before in Castlebar Court where we objected to his bail because we believed he was in breach of his bail and you had to go. I don't know if you made it that day. Up in Castlebar Circuit
I wasn't in Castlebar. I haven't been at court, I'd say, since
that day. Is it
I'd
probably?
say so, yeah.
Okay, well just to let you know, we're objecting to Joe's bail next Monday in the CCJ in Dublin.
Right.
And again, I have to caution, the DP's off telling me that I have to caution to be in attendance on Monday. In
Well, I won't be there.
You won't be there.
No. Not unless somebody fit to pay my wages to go for the day.
Okay, no, but we're cautioned because you went bail
Yeah.
person for him. You're obliged to be there because you were actual bail
Well,
person.
I'm not obliged to be there for him.
Okay, that's
No,
fair enough.
no, I'm not.
Look, I'm not.
Yeah, yeah.
Conjured, I'm not here to argue with
Yeah,
you.
that's
all right?
fine, that's
In
fine.
fairness, yeah.
That's fine.
I know it kind of got landed on you that day more than anything else. You know,
Well, look,
But-
as I say, shit happens, won't it?
Do you understand your role though as bail person for him? that it's your responsibility to make sure he doesn't breach
That
the
I'm a
bail.
childminder. Is that it?
Well, the best luck with that one.
I had 4 of my own. I think I've done alright.
But you know where I'm coming from, has bail person. You know, so
yeah, not a problem.
look, I'm only passing on the
Yeah,
message
that's good enough.
we're obliged to caution you. Like the last time, that you should be in attendance.
By the way, you told me now you had evidence on him and I didn't see it yet. You told me that day within about 11 hours signing bail, did you see the evidence? And I said no, I said, but I'd like to see it. And you never
trial
gave.
is coming up.
Oh, was that it?
Yeah.
Alright, that's fair enough, so.
Yeah.
No, but you told me that. Do you remember when I was going to sign up for the bail, did you see the evidence? And I said no, I didn't. And I said, can you show me somewhat? And you see it. And I didn't see it yet.
No, but sure I can show it to you.
Alright,
trial.
right.
No,
Okay.
I was saying wait to see the evidence was my angle there. Not that I'll show you evidence. I couldn't.
That's fair enough, that's fair enough.
No, wait for the trial.
Good enough.
Alright, but just so you know, he's posting stuff in relation to the case on social media and that, which it shouldn't be.
Why?
And part of his bail condition.
But I was mentioning that, Jerry. How come? Just say I want to put something up on Facebook. Is that not what's there for?
You can put whatever you want up on
Yeah,
Facebook,
that's how
but
was he
you're not up on trial.
No, but has he not the right to post stuff as well? Like that's right. This is where I get confused. You see.
Yeah, but
The court have decided that he shouldn't.
The court have decided.
What's the conditions of bail? Not to post anything on social media in relation to the case.
Yeah.
Any witnesses in the case. Not to interfere with any witnesses in the case.
Well, he has assured me he's not posting anything anyhow. And I don't. As I'm sure you see, I don't be with them because I want to keep away from it. It's as simple as that. I don't want to be involved in that nonsense.
But can I just ask you a question?
Yes.
I understand where you're coming from. If you're a witness in the case,
Yes.
right? An independent witness, say,
Yeah,
involved in the case,
yeah.
and someone is posting up something on Facebook in relation to your case, and that's coming to a trial.
Yeah.
How do you think that would affect you?
It wouldn't affect me if there was no lies in it. That's the way I look at it.
Alright, well look, we won't argue.
No, but I'm only
No,
saying,
but
like, yeah.
But if you're an independent witness, not
Yeah.
involved in any investigation
Jerry,
whatsoever,
to be honest with me, if there was anything posted on Facebook about me as a witness, I'd have no problem with it, provided it wasn't lies.
yes.
Do you know what I'm saying?
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. All right.
Alright.
Okay, boys. Take care.
Alright.
Good luck. All right.
Detective Jerry Lee seemed hell-bent on getting Joe remanded, so in front of Judge Karen O'Connor in the CCJ he got his wish, stating Joe had interfered with a witness, Alan Dean, by way of a post on the internet. This witness was not present, nor was any statement made by him presented to the court. Joe was remanded to Clover Hill on the 24th of July 2017. The judge also stated all discoveries had been granted and that the trial was going ahead on the 4th of October 2017. This was the fourth attempt to get Joe remanded. Prior to all this, Joe had represented himself and had made numerous requests for specific disclosures on certain aspects of the case. He even tried to lodge paperwork in Balnack Courthouse to secure discovery, but was refused the right by the court register Siobhan Terry on the instruction of her manager Peter Mooney.
Put these in for Tuesday week into the district court here in Balnack.
Sorry, and it's declaration of service that you serve on notice party.
Do I not have to get it stamped here first, no?
I'm not putting, if you want to put 15 on it, you can.
To swear it in, is it?
Well, that'll be dealt with in court, is it?
Yeah. Who advised you? Sorry, just in your letter, I've been advised that your motion is amended for the judge trial.
That's what was happened in other cases, didn't it? I asked Castle Brown about that.
No, specifically Peter Mooney, is it? Nobody said I have been advised.
Yeah, I spoke with Castle Brown.
Peter Mooney, is it?
Probably.
Yes or no?
I speak to a lot of them.
Okay, you're not going to ask the question. I just want to put that in for 10 days notice, so that will go in for Tuesday week, will it? Here, yeah.
Don't sit away and then lodge it when you've served it on the people.
When,
Do you want to put 15 minutes stamp on the affidavit if you like, or don't like it?
yeah, I'll swear in the affidavit and I'll sort it then, yeah.
What do you mean swear it?
Does it have to be sworn in, no?
Well, there's no way they're saying that it is being sworn. I would.
I'd need to go to his solicitor or do that in front of his solicitor, not me.
The Lord Commissioner Roads, aren't you?
Or Commissioner Rhodes, but
Last week you said you had the stamp.
no, I have my own stamp thing, but I don't have a sworn or a sworn. I don't have a sworn stamp. Kevin, what's his name? Edward Gone. All of this, no, it's a solicitor. Any of the solicitors, I think you'll be better.
Is the solicitors down there now?
Oh, Edward, yeah.
Yeah.
At least I think they are. If they're not, they're probably across the road.
Okay, so I have to swear it in, come back and get a stamp by you that it's been accepted here, and get the date on it, is it?
The date is on it. The date is on it.
That's Balmullet though.
Yeah, that's where it's going.
No, I won't go to Ballina.
It won't be going in Ballina.
It has to go in Ballina,
It's
yeah.
the trial judge that's resolved the letter.
It's not the trial judge, because this is for separate issues.
No. It is not going before the court of Ballina.
Are
I am telling you.
you refusing that?
I'm refusing to take it for Ballina, yes.
But that's my right, not your decision.
No.
Yeah,
Going
you
to
cannot
Ballina.
refuse that.
No, it's going to.
How can I go to the trial judge on the trial date asking to recuse himself? He's not going to do it, is he?
I don't know.
And there's other issues involved in this that has nothing to do with
It
him.
dealt with by in Belmont on the 7th.
No, it won't be dealt in Balmullet.
We've been advised that it can be
We've
put
got
in.
advice as well. This is going to Ballina at the next available date.
It's not going to take it into Ballina.
You're refusing
I'm
it?
refusing it, yes.
On what grounds?
On what
I'm
grounds?
refusing that for said in the letter that is to do, they're all matters that are being dealt with out in Belmont on the 7th and 8th of March.
No, you took this last week, and you said that you were getting a date. Now what you did was you ran to Castlebar to Peter Mooney into the Gardaí.
No,
You did, of course you
I
did.
didn't ring the Gardaí. How
Look,
dare you
I
suggest
have
that?
been advised.
Yes,
By
So you went-
Castlebar.
Your
he's more
job,
senior to me.
your job is to take an application for court.
Yes, and I am telling you now, I am not taking it for Ballina.
What? On what grounds? It's
I beg your pardon, all
over
those
an
matters-
allegation
no,
that happened in Ballina.
No, it doesn't matter.
It does matter.
You've been given a hearing date for all these matters out in Belmont, that's it.
I have not got a car to get to Balmullet, right? So I am putting this in Ballina. Now I prefer a judge to tell me. You're not a judge. So I want this to go in front of a judge here in Ballina.
It's not going to go into it.
So you're more powerful than a judge in the courts and
I am
everything.
telling you that we run the courts here, right? I'm
Yeah,
telling you
and badly you run them as well.
Can I ask you, sorry, did you get advice not for it to be heard in Ballina, or was it at your own
No,
decision?
my own decision. That it
You're
was-
making the decision.
No. I am telling you that you have cases going on in Belmont.
I've one case going on.
Yeah. And
Not cases.
there are things connected to that, aren't there, coming up on it?
Yeah, but
Yes, and they will be dealt with in Belmont.
But I have the right to apply for this. There's various other applications in that as well, right? I am not going to Balmullet. I am putting in an application here before a judge in Ballina and let him tell me, not you.
No, they're not. I'm not accepting your application
Yeah.
for court in Ballina.
We'll see about that.
Jerry Lee gave evidence stating that after a coordinated plan, he apprehended Joe Doocey in Port Arlington. While Joe and Colin were leaving Garda headquarters, Colin gave his phone number to the guard on duty to contact him if anything showed up that was outstanding against Joe. And if there was, Joe would present himself to the nearest Garda station on the way back to Ballina.
My name's Joe Doocey. I'm just here to find out if there's any summonses here for me or if there's any warrants for arrest out. You know, stuff.
Yeah, we should. You need to get the name of the inspector though that you've spoken to.
Could you give me your name, Inspector, please? Inspector Toomey.
Some of the wrongs of Sergeant Declan Casey's observations are as follows. He states that he stopped a silver Ford Fiesta van with Joe Doocey driving while holding a mobile phone in his hand. He wanted to see the DOE cert on the 5th of June. 04D 47005 is a Ford Fiesta car which had all valid certs on its windscreen. Peter Cairns says that they set up a checkpoint on Bury Street the evening of the incident, the 8th of June 2015. Cairns states, at 17:40 I was aware Sergeant Casey had received a number of phone calls informing him that Joe Doocey had been seen driving in Ballina town. At no stage up to or during this time did Sergeant Casey say there were any checkpoint. Casey states, I observed a man with a black jeep and I greeted him. I also observed a man who I now know to be Joe Doocey approach onto Bury Street. Sergeant Casey says in a statement that the first thing he noticed was the tax had expired. No mention of a checkpoint. This is the place where the wind visor of the car was broken in the initial attack on Joe out of CCTV cameras. Strange that this was omitted by the crime scene investigators, who was instructed by Garda Peter Cairns, who was also involved in the incident. Garda Cairns was so specific in detail concerning the entire incident, yet he failed or decided not to include this piece of evidence. Why was such an important piece of evidence omitted? This was crucial, as it would have shown where Joe was initially attacked and why he felt he had to flee. Another inconsistency in Sergeant Casey's statement states that when Garda Cairns and I were chasing Doocey on Bury Street, I radioed the Garda station that a vehicle had failed to stop. He states he radioed the station from Bury Street, yet when he alleges he was hit by the car at the font, that he was radioing the station when the tyre of Doocey's car drove over his right foot, and also states that Joe Doocey showed no emotion. He was on the radio, he was in the middle of a chaotic scene which he never experienced in his life, and yet he was able to see that Joe Doocey showed no emotion whatsoever. Strange. Mr. Ormsby's statement claims that Declan Casey's vital statistics were normal, but that Sergeant Casey was complaining that his right knee and his right ankle were paining him. In Casey's medical report, this is the first time he mentions a checkpoint. He said he opened the driver's side door and the car reversed over his right foot and he was knocked to the ground. Casey's own statement proves that this is a lie. States he ran up to the font cross roaring at Doocey to stop, and that while on the radio Doocey reversed over his right foot as previously stated, and you will be aware from Exhibit 16 he had a sore knee, and somehow from the font cross the pain left his right ankle and travelled up into his right shoulder. He states that he was fully alert. Questionable, as alleged by Declan Casey when he stopped Joe on the previous Friday, the 5th of June, when he did not comply with his order while he was on a patrol on a motorbike. Why would any normal person try to stop a dangerous individual like Joe while they were on foot and they had numerous marked and unmarked cars at their disposal? Sergeant Declan Casey attended his local doctor 7 months later. The details show he states that a car reversed suddenly over his right foot. He sustained a knee injury and the period of hospitalisation was a day case on the 21st of September 2015. Now this, I believe, is proof beyond reasonable doubt at least. Questions. If the absence is ongoing, is it down to the accident? No. Aggravation of previous existing condition? Yes. Any further investigations required? No. Are late complications expected? No. Sergeant Casey's impact statement states, I had a terrible pain in my right knee and left forearm. Previously it was his right knee, his right ankle, then his right knee, his right shoulder, and now it's right knee and left forearm. And he was in a leg brace for 6 weeks and needed surgery to repair ligaments in his knee. No evidence in any medical records of surgery relating to the incident. He was released after a couple of hours from the hospital on crutches with a sore shoulder and sore forearm. A couple of days following the incident while on holidays, he found his wife very upset and distressed, not because of his injuries, but about the comments being posted on social media. He states, I had to ask my wife to avoid social media. This seemed like a wife that's out of her mind with worry. To sum up the contents of this case and to show how Joe Doocey has been set up. He was very vocal in exposing corruption in the Gardaí, the judiciary and all other areas of corruption. The raid on the Doocey home, the numerous arrests of Joe and the arrest of his partner. The false allegations of terrorism, revenue, pornography, threatening emails that threw the book at Joe. No convictions on any of these. If Declan Casey wanted to speak to Joe about a licence and DOE, Joe was in court for most of the day on the 8th of June and stated in his statement that his colleagues had been informed that he wished to speak to Joe. No such requests were made during that day. Before the incident, Joe had encountered at least 6 guards, plus all the guards that were in court, at least 20 of them, and nobody informed him that Casey needed to speak to him. I think it is evident that the Gardaí, including Declan Casey, were aware that Joe was no threat to society. Otherwise, they would have done the same as they done in Portarlington, having a load of guards, cars and in BCI to arrest him. The exercise in Portarlington was sure to give the impression that Joe was a threat, as earlier that day he was at Garda headquarters to surrender if there were any charges pending. He was informed there were none, and as you can see from the next video, Joe walked away.
My name's Joe Doocey. I'm just here to find out if there's any summonses here for me or if there's any warrants for arrest out.
Yeah, we should. You need to get the name of the inspector, though, that you've spoken to.
Give me your name, Inspector, please. Inspector Toomey.
An affidavit from a witness for the prosecution was submitted on his behalf and given to Joe's legal team, stating that he didn't make the statement the guards provided in evidence. A second affidavit states that while Casey was in the Garda station after the incident, Casey was walking around and says, "We have Doocey now." Doocey's numerous requests and attempts to lodge applications for court orders to obtain discovery and his constant emails to the guards for disclosure were all ignored, and in some cases they sent back emails stating that Joe had received all disclosures.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
Joe, I'll cut you off at the pass there, not in a bad way at all.
Yeah.
But
whoever's
yeah, I will.
They'll have to talk to me because
it's no problem.
they're saying here I got a pulse number, it's not in it, I've been through it twice. They're saying that there's discs here, a photograph, they're not in it. Collage of CCTV footage is not there.
What I will do, Joe, is that I'll just take your number there now. Bear with me 1 second.
Yeah, well, can you check,
email it, put it in
and just check this to see that they're not in it, because it's going to be detrimental. We're not going to bring it away with us and find out that, it left the police station and you signed for it.
I came in the other day and they gave me stuff that wasn't, they didn't give me the stuff and said that they did. So that's why I'm reading this here now. I'm telling you now that there's 3 or 4 items there that is not in this, and they're going to say that I'm saying it's not there. It's not there. It's written there that they're giving it to me, and it's not there.
They'll say they gave it.
Whatever. And this will be the second time this has happened. Best thing I can do is just send another email and know straight away that we have this recorded, that what you're saying is in this additional evidence is in.
Yeah, why should we be waiting around all day? Like that's the third time that
I'm trying to make out that there's additional evidence in a court case the day before the court case. It is just ridiculous.
Now, how many items did you say are not there, Joe?
Look, there's no.
Well, you just give me the numbers, that's the best.
Okay, there's no number 17 there.
Number 17, yeah.
I don't see, it's saying CCTV stills. I don't see them. There's pictures of the car there, but I don't see any CCTV still pictures in it. So they're not there.
Okay, just give me the, you have an issue with number 17?
17 isn't there, 18 isn't there.
18.
It says discs of photographs taken by Gertis. There's no discs in the envelope. Discs of photographs, unless it's the insurance.
The photographs of the discs.
Is it the insurance disc and the tax disc? Maybe that's what that is. If that's there,
that's
there.
Yeah,
that's there, yeah.
So 17, 18.
Yeah, and 22 isn't there. There's no copy of the fixed charge penalty notice or the post print out.
So you're saying you've an issue with 17, 18, 22 on whatever list you have there.
Yeah.
I'll pass that on.
Why were the NBCI so involved? They arrested Joe on 4 occasions, and the morning of the court case, on the 8th of June 2015, Joe and Colin found the Detective Sergeant Porrick Cleary's Garda baton outside Joe's bedroom window. They've been the ones investigating criminal activities and protecting our people, that they would be assisting Joe instead of trying to criminalise them. But we now know from Maurice McCabe, Nicky Keogh and anyone who tries to expose corruption, even if you are a member of the Guards, you will be hounded down and shut up. Can it be allowed to continue, where you have criminals operating without a care, and you have the people who put their lives and careers on the line to expose them being locked up in jail for crimes they did not commit? Please share this, all who believe in justice, transparency and accountability. And remember, Joe Doocey and his ACT family will endeavour to keep exposing the corruption, unsolved murders, deaths in Garda cells, corruption within all aspects of legal system, and Gardaí supplying drugs. We believe if we can have the law functioning properly, that it will eradicate all the wrongdoers in society, and that we will give a more equal and fairer society. It seems that most of the evidence contained in this audio video is non-admissible in the appeal because it has not been submitted in the original trial. The question arises as to why it was not submitted. Joe's former legal team had full access to all documentation as provided for in this documentary. Yet they never explored any of the proven lies, contradictions or disconnect between the statements. They didn't explore or seek expert analysis on the leg of Casey's trousers, which shows tyre marks running across the leg, and didn't get an expert to examine Joe's car. They allowed evidence of the damage to Alan Dean's van be admitted in the case, when Alan Dean admitted that he had left the scene of the incident. They never explored the reasons why Joe fled and the finding of Garda Baton 10089 outside Joe's bedroom window on that morning of the 8th of June. The reason they gave for this was that it will open up a can of worms. Why did they not follow up on requests for CCTV footage from Ballina Garda Station? It would have confirmed the new evidence that Sergeant Casey was walking around at the back of the barracks. And all of the above, and many more which may seem incidental, leaves Joe with the opinion that he was either underrepresented, misrepresented, or that the legal team were incompetent. Either way, Joe Doocey is doing 3.5 years in jail. Thank you all for listening to this audio video of injustice. We will endeavour to put together excerpts from the transcripts of this case to show you how things went in the courtroom. There are too many incidents to put into this. As you can see, this was only a synopsis of the Joe Doocey case and the extent they will go to frame an innocent man. And anyone, if you should start exposing corruption. ACT will continue to expose the corruption and wrongdoings of the so-called elite within our society. Anyone who wishes to show their support or help in any way to get justice for Joe, please contact Anti-Corruption Task Force, ACT on Facebook. ACT wishes to thank everyone who has stood by them and for the support they are receiving from all over the world. Thank you.